Hi and welcome to my playhouse and to the basement, the creepy basement, the wet basement, the indoor pool. So I have showed this multiple times that, well, it's not really a well. It's like a thing that is in the basement so that I can remove water from the basement. It's rather big. It has concrete rings in it, and those concrete rings are about 1 meter in diameter. It's only like 1 meter deep-ish. I think I could dig it out and make it deeper. Sand has been seeping in there, so yeah, I need to pump this out for the basement to stay dry. You can kind of see over here it's dry and over here it's wet, because in here, well, the water level is very high, so in here the water also comes up, and there is no well here, so that water has to seep that way to get out of here, and when it becomes too high here it seeps in here instead, which is it's not the right way. But if I keep the well or the pump out station here low enough, it will go this way and not out the other way. So I need to lower this. I got a lot of good suggestions as always on what I could do. Right now I have this booster pump right here. I have this because I also use the water. At the moment I'm not using it, but I do actually use the water. That's the water that I fill up my plunge pool in the summer, and I also use it for my washing machine to wash my clothes. So I need the water pressure. So the booster pump is there, and I can turn that on if I want to use my washing machine right there. And that is also a timer. And 10 times a day this timer turns on and it lowers the level in the, I'm gonna call it a well, it's not a well, but it's a thing. And normally that is perfectly fine. In the summertime it's actually a little bit too much. I then have to go and configure this so that it doesn't pump as much out, because in summer there's not as much water that comes this way. There is still water, but there's not as much. And right now we have had extremely a lot of water, so it has been working overtime, and the well has been at a too high level, and that's why it's overflowing. So I tried to build another pump. I showed you that last week. This stupid little thing that keeps pumping and not doing much. So unfortunately I don't think this pump is powerful enough to make enough pressure to open this one-way valve that I have here. So it's pumping up water, and that's supposed to go through this one-way valve and out this way. This pipe goes out into the rainwater collection system. We have our sewer systems is separated here, so there is like the rainwater system, and there is the gray black water system where, you know, the toilets and the sinks and stuff goes to. But this is the rainwater system, because when I had my sewage system separated, we put in this pipe for exactly this purpose, so that when there's too much water here I can pump it out, which is very good when the ground is frozen, because normally I would pump it out this way and it would go into the garden. I'd normally just have it watering something out there. In the summer I'll turn this off and it will just go into the garden, and when it becomes winter I'll turn this on. It's on right now, and it will pump out, because right now there is too much water and this pipe will freeze outside, and when it freezes outside the pump will not deliver any water outside, and then the well overflows again. So blah 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 blah. I'm rambling a lot. I bought another little submersible pump that I'm hoping will be ever so slightly more powerful than the other one, so that I could actually pump a little bit of water out. So yeah, I was gonna be building a little extra pump system. So this one is 12 volt 20 watts, and this can lift the water 6 meters. I believe the one that I have in here can lift the water like 3 meters. So if I'm not mistaken, that also means higher water pressure, which I'm hoping will let the water go through that valve. And giggles, I'll see if we can open this pipe up and see if any water comes through. So the pump is at, it's not really pumping anything out, is it? Does not look like it. So yeah, it's too weak to open that one-way valve. So, okay. So I can turn that off for sure. Okay, so I've removed the little pump and I have fastened this on-off switch. This has air in it, so when the water level rises in there, this will at some point be lifted up. This is going down. So this is the pump, and when the water rises, this will turn on, and it will turn on the motor. I have broke the wire of the motor here, so it goes through this little switch and just turns on when the water activates it. And yeah, it's a very simple system. Not much can go wrong except the pump being not powerful enough. I need to reuse some of this stuff. I don't want to use this one because that is also a bit dodgy. Luckily I have another one, so we have one of those, and I have tested it. That works as well. So this part is good. Then we go we need the pipe off of there. I want to reuse the pipe actually, so yeah, I need to go and heat that up, and hopefully I can take the pipe off. Yeah, I don't have any more of this pipe, so we need the pipe. And the other end of the pipe, it goes on to one of these normal garden things, which is very convenient because then that means that I can remove it easily. And the other end of this garden thing is on that one-way valve over there, so that is perfectly good. And the other end of the cable, first there is an on-off switch. I want to reuse that as well. That has been very handy. And then we have crocodile things to go on a car battery, and it runs 12 volt because I do also have an issue. If the power goes out in the house, that means that my booster pump would get no power and the basement would flood. If I had a car battery fully charged, that could save my ass for probably the better part of a week. So yeah, that's kind of why I want to go with a 12 volt system for the backup system here. Okay, we have a heat gun. I'm gonna warm this up so that I can get it off of there. The new pump did come with some plastic for putting on pipes, so I think this thick one will do it, but let's get this off first and then worry about that later. It's cold in the basement, so I actually had one of these pumps that I was planning to use for down here, and I was trying to get this hose on, or some hose, and I actually broke the pump. The plastic just broke off. So okay, it's getting very okay, we got it. It's off. So I'm gonna keep it warm, and then I'm gonna put this new plastic thing on. Ow! If I can. Oh, this is way too big. Okay, this needs to be warmed up a lot. Okay, that is on there. It's not going anywhere when this cools down. It was very difficult to get on there, so yeah, the pipe is, you can kind of see how expanded it is to get on there. But well, that's gonna give us the best water flow that we can hope for. So cool. So I want this sensor to just be sitting on this thing somewhere. It has like a little bow, there's a thingy here on top of it, so it's not gonna sit very well. I was hoping to just somehow put it on here, and then when the water comes up to about the level where the pump is, it will just go up. And yeah, that would be very neat. So I'm thinking of how I can fasten this. I think I can just use some zip ties on the pump here, one of each side of this thing, like that, and not tighten them too much. And this sensor here, it has a screw out thing. It's meant to be, you can mount it to a like a barrel or something, and when the water level comes up, it will start something. So I think I can put a zip tie in here as well, in there, and just have that go through here, something like that, and onto this guy. And then when I've done that, I'll just use some hot glue to fasten it more. Hot snot. I'll fasten these a little bit, one on each side of that thing to give it some stability. There, and fasten this thing. Get the seam out of the way. And let's turn this so that it doesn't interfere with the going up and down here. And we need to fasten this way more. There. Okay. And we can get rid of these leftover thingies. We have our very simple start-stop pump thing, and we need these wires to be incorporated into the other wires. So we will zip tie those as well. Nah, well, I don't know. Let's wait a little bit with that. This is good. It's not going anywhere. This is more simple than what I did here. Where I got, this is a part of a plastic top of a little container that I figured out that the sensor would fit in, and I've hot glued it in there and stuff, and hot glued it onto the pump. And I can still use some hot glue here to improve on this if I want to. But yeah, we need this wire to go in and splice onto this wire. And for that, I'm just gonna cut the wire open and disconnect one of the wires in there and put that together. Okay, I have split open the wire here, so we see there's a red and a black wire down there. We should really test this pump and see if it does anything before we go any further. I haven't done that, so let's see. Well, we need some negative power here. Without, oh, okay. Okay, so far it's a bit weird. I need to cut this wire anyway, so I'm gonna cut it and see if the pump works. Otherwise, this is not a good video. Okay, it needs to go back on this. It needs to go back on this, and I cut the wire here, so the pump needs to go here, and the wire needs to meet up with that one. So I'll cut it here, that's plenty. Let's see if we are in luck or if I bought a bad pump. We're in luck. Okay. Whew. Just thought that I messed up there. So we're gonna cut the positive wire here, the red one. There. And we're gonna connect it to each one of these black wires, and that means that when this goes up, it turns. Sorry, I've turned this. This is the wrong way. It needs to go down. Okay, that is fixable. That is nice. So stupid one. So. Like that. So now that will be off, and then it turns on, and it will go off, and it will turn off. So that's the way to do it. Okay. So one of the wires has to meet up with that one, and the other one needs to meet up with the other one. So that needs to be ever so slightly longer. There. And then we need to uninsulate a little bit. And we need some heat shrink. This is a Lidl set that I purchased in Lidl, and yeah, they have a variety of heat shrink. Awesome. Okay, I have done a little bit of work on this. I have sorted this together so that it's good. I can heat shrink these two now. I need to cut some of this extra stuff off. I see. It's gonna give me issues, but I can put some heat shrink over this, I believe, I hope. Come on, heat shrink. There, perfectly good. And I also need a little bit of piece to put on top of this one. So this doesn't really have to be that long, but yeah, we can cut off the excess. There, put it back in the box. So we have our heat gun, and we'll just heat that up a little bit. Awesome. Have another piece of heat shrink that fell on the floor, so that needs to go on here. So that will cover up everything. So I have a little bit of heat shrink here that I'm gonna be putting over here, but this is still warm, and when it's warm it will shrink the heat shrink, and I can't get it on there, so I think it's good now. So there, it's in the middle, and we'll heat shrink that. Good. So now we have the two pieces. We have our pump here. We do actually have a little silicone thingy here, and I'll put it in the other one. Very neat. This pump comes with two things. So this one was too small. This one was too big, but. Yeah, it comes with two things. It also has little rubber feet if you want to put it in like a fish thingy, glass thing. It can suction cups, I guess they're called. That's not going well. There we are. So now we can put the pump on here. Hopefully. Didn't actually check if this would fit. Okay, so now we need these two wires to go together. I'll fix that. Okay, let's see if this works. So now we have the pump with the water switch here, and we have I have connected the wires. They're underneath here. It comes from this thinner wire to this little bit thicker wire. It goes up the wire and it turns into this switch where I can turn it on and off, and then it goes to the crocodile leads where it's connected to the battery. First, let's connect it to the battery over here. This battery I showed in another video, and I told you I'm gonna try and relive this, and it actually it hasn't been bad. It's doing okay. It keeps the voltage, so we can connect it to that. And I don't know if this is on or off. Oh, it's off, so we can turn it on, and then when the switch comes up, it runs. So awesome. So let's try and put it in the well. Well. And that is down here. We might need a little bit more lights. Flashlight. Plus I'm in the way of the light, so maybe if I stand over here it will be better. So first thing, we can test if it works. If I just take this hose and point it towards the water. Oh, I would like to see if this works. There. So if we put this down, it should start pumping. Yep. Water level went down. Okay, so it is working. I want to show you the garden thingy in here. That's gonna be difficult, but we're gonna give it a try. Can you see that? It's right there where we need to connect it. There. And I don't want to put it in the water because then I become wet. So let's put that. You can see it connects there. And it should be connected to the one-way valve here. And we can put it in the well. And I don't know if it's going out that way. So, is it pumping? Let's. Oh, if it's not pumping anything out, that's. Nothing is going out. Oh, well, that's the wrong way. So it's not enough. Oh, there it came. Oh, oh, come on. Okay. Not entirely sure what it's doing though now. It already stopped working. Well, I can hear water going through the pipe over here. I had the wire tangled a little bit. We're gonna sort that out. Okay, so it is running in there and I can hear. Maybe you can too. Water going through the blue pipe here and going out into the, more or less I think it goes into the ocean. Yeah, so my quick little build. When the big booster pump turns on, it will drain the well down quite a bit, and that will turn off the little pump, and then the little pump will only turn on again when the well level rises up again. It does keep turning on and off. I don't like that much. I haven't got a clue. Might be too much power running through that open close thing. That's that float like this one. Maybe I'm stressing. Maybe it's not. It's probably meant to hit a relay or something, and I'm putting too much power through it. So yeah, that's a room for improvement there. I'm sure a lot of you have a ton of improvement suggestions for me in the comments below. And this is very simple. I liked it very simple. I got a lot of suggestions for home assistance and putting in a sensor here. That just becomes very complicated. If I need someone to go and help me out, if I'm in my house in Portugal and I need someone to go and check up on the pump and stuff, it's not great to have to mess with home assistants and very sophisticated stuff like that. I think, I don't know. Well, that's my thought anyway. This was a very cheap fix. I think this little pump was 12 euros. I could go and look for something a little bit more expensive and hopefully higher quality. It's actually about the same price as this pump here, but I noticed that that pump was rated for a higher lift. When the pump is able to lift the water higher, it also means that it's able to obtain higher pressure, water pressure. And that was what I was hoping for, to open that one-way valve so that it could go through there. And it had trouble doing that. You saw I had to push it up and down, and then it got the valve open. So it might be just at the limit of what can work here, and it might be at the very low limit of what can work here. So yeah, there's still room for improvement here, but yeah, you got a little 1 hour build. This took about an hour to build this, so this is a very compact video. As said, you probably have a ton of improvement suggestions. Put it in the description. I will read them. I won't promise anything. Last video I got some very expensive suggestions as well, but yeah, never mind. Please give this video a like. We did get somewhere. I got an electric shock down here with like 20 volts because the floor is so wet and I'm standing here with slippers on, so I was very grounded. Actually never tried that before, but never mind. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and remember to like the video and have a nice day. Bye bye.